Is your Ford showing a steering assist fault service required message? Maybe your steering wheel suddenly got heavy and hard to turn? Or perhaps the warning appears and disappears when you restart your car? If you're dealing with any of these problems, you're in the right place. In the next few minutes, I'll show you exactly what's causing this issue and how to fix it without spending thousands at the dealership. This problem affects millions of Ford vehicles, including the Escape, Focus, Fusion, Explorer, and F-150. The EPAS, or Electronic Power Assisted Steering System, is notorious for these failures. When it stops working, your steering wheel becomes incredibly hard to turn, especially when parking or driving at low speeds. But here's the thing. Sometimes it's a simple fix that costs under $50, and other times it's a major repair. The key is knowing which one you're dealing with. Let's dive into the 3 most common causes of this problem and what you can do about each one. First up, the steering angle sensor. This sensor sits right behind your steering wheel and monitors which direction you're turning and how far. When it fails, your car's computer gets confused about your steering position. The symptoms are pretty clear. You might notice your steering wheel shaking on its own, or the power steering working intermittently before failing completely. If you're experiencing these issues, try this quick fix first. Turn off your vehicle completely. Turn your steering all the way to the left and hold for 10 seconds, then do the same to the right, then restart it. This resets the EPAS module and might temporarily restore your power steering. However, this is just a band-aid solution. The problem will likely return, and you'll need to replace the sensor. The good news is that aftermarket sensors are available for around $150 compared to over $1,000 for a complete steering column replacement at the dealership. Second, low battery voltage. This is actually more common than you might think. Your EPS system needs proper voltage to function, typically at least 12.6 volts when the engine is off. A weak battery, corroded terminals, or a car that hasn't been driven in a while can all trigger the steering assist fault. Here's what to check. First, test your battery voltage with a multimeter. If it's below 12.4 volts, you likely have a battery problem. Next, inspect your battery terminals for corrosion. White or green buildup needs to be cleaned off immediately. Also, check the ground connections, especially the steering rack ground strap. A loose or corroded ground connection is a surprisingly common culprit. If your car has been sitting for more than a week, take it for a 20 to 30-minute drive to fully charge the battery. Sometimes, this alone will clear the fault. If the problem persists after addressing these issues, you might need a new battery or alternator. Third, the EPAS rack itself. Unfortunately, this is the most expensive problem. The electric motor inside the steering rack can fail, or water can get into the system through damaged bellows boots and destroy the internal electronics. Ford EPAS racks are extremely sensitive to contamination, unlike hydraulic systems that can power through some debris. Warning signs of a failing rack include the steering becoming progressively harder over time, strange clunking noises when turning, or the power steering cutting out completely while driving. If you hold the steering wheel at full lock and hear the motor straining or cutting out, that's another red flag. This repair typically costs between $2,000 and $4,000 at a dealership, though you might find rebuilt units for less. Here's your action plan. When you see the steering assist fault message, don't panic, but don't ignore it either. First, safely pull over if you're driving, as the steering can become very difficult to control. Try the restart trick to temporarily restore power steering so you can drive to a safe location or repair shop. Next, check your battery and connections. This is the cheapest potential fix and something you can do yourself. If that doesn't solve it, have the fault codes read with an OBD scanner. The codes will tell you exactly which component is failing.